Good morning. It is Friday morning, November the 14th, and here are your headlines for the day. So, I want to follow up a few different stories that I've shared with you yesterday and earlier in the week. First up, yesterday, I shared the headlines with you about the Epstein files, how the Democrats have released yesterday, day before, emails that and they had quotes from them, or they released quotes from these emails that seemed to implicate Donald Trump in all of that Epstein pedophile mess. Well, like for example, one of the quotes was that Donald Trump knew about the girls. Well, they left some stuff out. So here, I want to read this to you. Yes, he knew about the girls and asked, I don't, how do you say that lady's name? You know, Epstein's dead. His girlfriend, Ghislaine, I don't know, and asked Ghislaine to stop, which you left out. This is in response to those emails. Listen, the emails released yesterday, reaffirm everything we know. Trump knew about Epstein and Ghislaine recruiting girls out of Mar-a-Lago and told them to stop. The redacted victim's name in the emails released yesterday is most definitely Virginia, and it has her last name here. And she exonerated Trump from any wrongdoing. She also worked for Trump as well as her father, and it's not unusual that Trump would check in on her. That is probably when she told Trump what was going on and when he decided to go to the FBI. Here's a little example. So what the Democrats released yesterday was Trump knew about the girl. Quote, here was the quote from the email. Donald Trump, knew about the girls. Well, here's the context of that quote. Here's the fuller sentence from a January 19th email, an Epstein email. In this email, Epstein actually wrote, of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Do you see? So when the Democrats released this, they didn't include as he asked Ghislaine to stop. They just quoted part of it. He knew about the girls. By the way, people do that with Scripture all the time. Saw an example of it yesterday. People quote Scripture, but they don't quote the whole Scripture, and what they leave out changes the whole meaning of the Scripture. People do that with Romans 8:1 all the time. Anyway. Incumbent, here's a follow-up. I told you, was it yesterday, day before, that looked like Seattle was about to elect a Democratic socialist just like New York just did for mayor? They did. Incumbent Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell's attempt to win re-election fell short after a razor-thin loss to Katie Wilson, who, like Zoran Mamdani, identifies as a Democratic socialist. Another follow-up story, I told you about Portnoy, who is a Jewish man, you know, and he's some kind of sports kind of celebrity guy. He was at Mississippi State, and somebody at Mississippi there in Starkville yelled out, "Beep the Jews! Beep you, Dave Portnoy." Is it Dave? "Beep you, Jew! Get out of here." Well, so people have started a GoFundMe, a fundraiser or something for this guy who was arrested for doing that. And they've raised over $36,000 for Patrick McClintock, who was charged after shouting, "Beep the Jews." They've started a GoFundMe to help this guy, this poor fella, out. My goodness. I think it's good news that they've only garnered $36,000. I mean, that's a lot, but could be a lot more, I guess. Okay. Now, let me share this headline with you here. Y'all, this is a little eye-opening. I would imagine most of you listening to me are anti-abortion, pro-life anti-abortion, probably are against abortion. How do you feel about IVF? Don't get mad at me. Listen. The number of babies killed annually during IVF is now more than those lost to abortion. How can one of those be okay and the other one not? I'm not trying to upset anybody. We love truth until truth hits us in the face a lot of times. Elon Musk says he plans to build 1 million humanoid robots by 2030. A Russian robot falls on its face seconds after unveiling in Moscow. I saw the video. This brand new robot, humanoid robot, Russia, on stage. They unveil it. He said he takes a step and bloop, falls down. Continuing with the robot AI kind of theme here, Vice President Vance addresses concerns over artificial intelligence. Quote, right now, the evidence that I see is that if we really lean into robotics and technology, it's going to raise everybody's wages and make everybody better off. Somebody got to explain that one to me. As it sure seems like the move towards artificial intelligence is causing a bunch of people to lose their jobs. I don't know how it's going to make people better off. Russia has vowed to stand ready to assist Venezuela as Donald Trump ramps up the U.S. military footprint near the South American country. The Coast Guard detected a Russian intelligence ship near U.S. waters off Hawaii, prompting a military response and ongoing monitoring of foreign vessel activities. France is ready to help draft a constitution for a Palestinian state as Abbas visits Paris. Trump told the Saudi prince that with the Gaza war ending, he expects Saudi Arabia to move toward normalization with Israel. Cloned meat will soon enter Canadian grocery stores without safety reviews or labeling. I don't want any cloned meat. Economy news, foreclosures surged 20% as Americans struggle to pay mortgages, raising fears of a 2008-style crash. Keeping with the economy, Treasury Secretary Besant says Americans will soon catch a break at the grocery store. Y'all hear this? Hang on. Quote, you're going to see a substantial announcement over the next couple of days in terms of things we don't grow here in the United States. Coffee being one of them. Bananas, other fruits, things that will bring the prices down very quickly. All right, good. Congress will hold a hearing next week on banning stock trading by members of Congress after reports show Nancy Pelosi and her husband profited about $130 million during her career. I'm sure there was nothing crooked or unethical going on there. A new Gallup poll finds 40% of women ages 15 to 44 say they want to leave the U.S. permanently. 40% of women ages, what is going on with women today? Women 15 to 44 want to leave the United States permanently. And that figure is up from 2014, so that's just 10 years. That figure's up from 10% to 40%. Something going on. New York Police Department is searching for a pride flag carrying suspect accused of defacing 3 Queens churches with anti-Christian graffiti and damaging religious statues during a hate crime spree. Keeping with the Christian persecution theme, African Union Chair Mahmoud Ali Yusuf says there is no Christian genocide in northern Nigeria. As Senator Ted Cruz warns officials and the White House threatens to halt U.S. aid. We're all overreacting. There's no Christian genocide in Nigeria. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump co-signed a new executive order aimed at improving the nation's foster care system, focusing on family placement and long-term stability. President Trump vows to protect children in foster care. Quote, this is Donald Trump, quote, The Bible tells us that one of the measures of any society is how it cares for vulnerable children and orphans. As we make America great again, we are going to protect American children in foster care, and we're going to ensure that they will never, ever be forgotten. That's good. Two more. Democratic National Committee staffers were told to return to the office 5 days a week for the first time since COVID, prompting a meltdown that led to subsequent mockery on social media. They told they got to go back to the office 5 days a week, and they had a meltdown. Democratic National Committee staffers. Right there tell you just about everything you need to know. Finally, 17 transgender Air Force members sued the Trump administration after losing up to $2 million in promised retirement benefits under a ban on their military service. There's your headlines for the day. Hope you have a good day. Walk with Jesus today. Walk in the Spirit today. Live for the Lord today.